I want to introduce you to an important principle for power in writing that I call the balloon and the rock. This image is supposed to symbolize that power in writing comes from the dynamic tension between the abstract ideas that have lift, that are invisible, principles or philosophical values, and the concrete, things that have weight and solidity, especially examples and evidence, and most of all, sensory data, things that we can imagine touching or feeling, experiencing firsthand. And it's not one or the other, but the tension between the two that makes writing powerful. This is true for a reflective essay, for a creative piece, and just as much for a research-based term paper in one of your upper-level classes. Perhaps you recognize this symbol here, the house with the balloons from the Pixar movie Up. I've drawn this alongside the balloon and the rock because that movie illustrates this perfectly. If you've seen the movie, do you remember how it begins? Just after the first couple of minutes, where two children meet each other and have a little conversation as they're playing in a neighborhood, we see a montage that's 7 minutes long. The kids grow up, they fall in love, they get married. We see the fashions of the man's tie change. We see their jobs at the zoo and selling balloons, working with animals. We see their hopes for going on an adventure and the jar with the coins that they save up money to buy a plane ticket. We see them smash the jar as they think that they're going to have a baby, and they use the money to remodel part of their house to get ready for the baby's arrival. And then their grief when they find out that the baby has died. They're mourning, they're getting older, and again, the fashion's changing in their house, finding new hope and saving up for that adventure again. But then before long, in the montage, the wife gets sick and is in the hospital and dies. And at the end of 7 minutes, the husband is now a widower, an old, broken, sad man. It seems like his hope is gone, and we, the audience, are in tears. If you've seen the movie, I'm sure that you can remember very vividly those 7 minutes. And think how remarkable it is that not a word is spoken, not an image is shown that a child couldn't imagine touching and playing with, the ties, the balloons, the jar with the coins, the house. We haven't seen anything farther than one city block from this place where this couple lives. And yet the movie has managed to launch these huge ideas about love and adventure and joy and grief and loss and hope and despair, things that are deeply meaningful even to adult viewers of the film. In fact, the creators of Pixar were masters of this principle. And if you watch their whole long first run of successful movies, hit after hit works this way. Toy Story and A Bug's Life and WALL-E. They're all about huge ideas about adventure and friendship, loyalty, but they're all worked out with very concrete physical objects that a child can imagine getting on the floor and playing with. So remember this principle in the work that you do. It is the tension between the abstract and the concrete, invisible values, principles like truth, beauty, justice, even efficiency, validity, and the concrete, evidence, data, things that can be touched or seen or felt or tasted or smelled. Not one or the other, but the tension between the two that makes writing strong. Again, in that movie Up, remember the scene where the old man goes to his fireplace as his house is flying along, and he twangs the strings of the balloons to make sure that the tension is tight. It's that kind of tension that you're looking for in your writing, paragraph by paragraph, page by page. You need to be talking about big ideas that matter, but you need to be anchoring those and demonstrating those in specific details. This can happen at the sentence level and at the paragraph level, and it has to constantly throughout your writing. If you can master that principle, then anything you write will be much stronger.